For this presentation, I have named this PowerPoint Faith, Grief, Loss, and Psychology. The person that I interviewed is a 65-year-old female. She is currently living alone after losing her husband this past June. She is not working. She recently had an accident that resulted in almost losing her foot just a couple of months after she lost her husband. She has a very big family with 4 sons, 9 grandchildren, and 4 brothers and sisters of her own. At the age of 14, she moved 16 times from North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, and Colorado. Her father traveled for work, so wherever the work was, they went. When she turned 14, her older brothers and sisters were in high school, so her dad did not want to move them around anymore, so they settled down in Fruita, Colorado. At 14 years old, she met the love of her life. At 15, they got married, and at 16, she had her first child. The other children that she had were born when she was 18, 21, and 24. The biggest event that she described and talked about the most during the interview was losing her second oldest son in the early 90s due to a drunk driving accident. She said, "It's like having a life before and a life after. It's never the same. The entire future was changed. I lost the possibility of grandchildren, a daughter-in-law, and the possibility of a whole and happy life was gone." Her and her husband grieved for at least 5 years before finally being able to be truly happy again. Faith is what kept her alive during this time. She said that she wanted to die every single day, but she knew that it was not God's will yet. Her faith and belief in heaven was only a slight comfort. Even though she knew her son was not alone, it wasn't where he should be yet. He was not with her other sons, or the rest of his family. She felt like he was alone. She questioned God, and she still does. She doesn't understand why this happened to a good person who made one bad decision. Another disclaimer for this story is that her son was not the one that was impaired in driving. It was his girlfriend who was driving. He hadn't drank that much, was not legally impaired, but for some reason he allowed his girlfriend to drive his car while she was impaired. So they ended up crashing after driving just 12 short blocks. The aftermath of her son's death was terrible. She said it was almost like trying to help somebody else while you were drowning yourself. Her sons rebelled and were very angry after the loss of their brother. She had to get a police scanner to keep tabs on where they were and if they got in any trouble. They had numerous court dates from the accident and from the other kids rebelling, which made the entire situation worse. Her grief, she was told by an acquaintance, that you have other kids at least, so it shouldn't be that bad. But it doesn't matter. They helped her a little bit, gave her a reason to live, but it doesn't change the fact that she buried her child. When her husband was 65 years old, he passed away. It was hard and life-changing because now she lives alone. She does not have her companion, who she had been with for almost 50 years. Nothing can compare to losing your child, is what she said. She was born into the Lutheran church when she was a baby. She was baptized. She went to church faithfully every single Sunday and attended Sunday school as well. She said that her faith is the only reason that she is still alive today. Psychology and economic factors. She lives a semi-comfortable life. She doesn't need to work, but is considering it due to being bored and lonely after losing her husband. During the interview, she made eye contact and drank soda pop while speaking with me. She was aware of her surroundings and what we were speaking about. She expressed a great amount of grief and despair from losing her husband and her son, But she also exhibited integrity. She is at peace with what life has given her and accepted everything that has happened, and she also accepts that her life is coming to an end. My takeaways from this interview is that this person is very outspoken. She doesn't care if it upsets you. She's going to tell you how it is and her opinion on any matter that you bring up. From the outside, she might seem cold and callous, but when you hear what she has endured, it makes sense. You don't move around that much as a child and go through the loss of your own child and husband and not be hard on the outside. This woman's faith in God is strong, and it has kept her alive. So how does it relate to psychology? Well, parents who have lost a child have an increased rate of cancer, mortality, severe grief symptoms, PTSD, anger, hostility, doubts within their worldviews, and a shattered personal identity and concepts. Parents who've lost children do not find a meaning in the loss that they have endured for a long time after this loss has occurred. The person interviewed still had not found meaning in the loss of her child, and I don't think she ever will. I don't think anybody can. She was still angry and hostile about the loss, and was still grieving 27 years later. Moving frequently has been shown to lower a child's academic and social skills. Every time a child is moved, it results in a decrease in positive social skills and higher behavior and emotional problems. These effects last for years after the final move. This person interviewed had moved approximately 16 times by the time she was 14. She does have trouble with maintaining friendships due to being so outspoken, which could be directly related to being moved so many times at such a young age. References. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great and blessed day.